All right, welcome back to another episode of Instructron, Unstructured, episode
Unstructured.
4. So we are now 2 weeks into the school year. It's felt longer.
Yes, and we enjoyed that 3-day weekend.
It's
Nothing like not working 9 days and already
it's
needing the
it's
3-day
just
weekend.
it's a very strange job, right? Like for anybody else, and I think Khoa, every week when we talk about it, we get to tell you the behind the scenes of like, this is why we are so exhausted.
This is cool though, because
Right.
it's like
nonstop.
the scenario of what if a technologist shadowed teachers for a year?
Yeah.
What could we build for them? And so this whole thing.
Yeah, there'd be a lot better tech out there.
Well, this past week really focused on we give a reading and math diagnostic to our students, and these diagnostics are like pain-killingly like just long for them, and we just feel for them so much. It's like, as an educator, you just hate just having them sit there for an hour every day.
Nothing says welcome back to school like hours upon end of test questions that purposely get to the point of
because they're trying to calibrate where the kid is. And so we get it. It's just hard. These are the things that we're like, how can we solve these problems? But now that we have that data, I think we're looking ahead at like, what can we do with that data? And so now we can focus on like, getting our routines in place with instruction, really.
Exactly. Can actually start teaching. One of the big things that our district is looking at this year is making sure that we have daily small group reading instruction for all grade levels, which we typally, it's not like that's new to us.
It's harder. Like, you gotta. My nephew's in kindergarten. No, first kindergarten.
TK and first, yeah.
TK and first, and so reading groups in primary grades are, one, they have less children, as they should. They're learning to read, and so they'll do more foundational things, like working on phonics, fluency, things like that. When you get into upper grade, Joe and I each have 32 students. You trying to find time to meet in this small group with them. You feel it's like this giant. You're like, I can't do it all by myself.
So typically what it would look like in our classroom is like if students are given a quiz, and then we pull, these 5 students struggled with this question or this type of question. So I'm going to just pull them. It was very flexible. But the expectation this year seems to be more a regular reading group, similar to the lower grades, which is fine. We've done that before as well.
We have.
But it's just a struggle when you have 32 students finding a way to make groups that work.
So how do you do it today?
I think we're going to, like, for sure utilize Instructron this year. I think we're wrapping our heads around it, but next week I think we'd love to share like what we think how reading groups will look like, and maybe that will help some people out. But it will just be nice to have the kids working on a passage with a coach.
Right. So that's always the question, I guess, is what are the kids doing when they're not with us?
Right.
We want to make sure that independent work is meaningful. And so part of that is going to be where we utilize Instructron, because then they could still have
feedback,
some kind of feedback, or some kind of coach walking them through something.
It's accountability, right? If I just say, hey, you 10, you just like, quietly do this worksheet. 5 are going to talk to a neighbor, and the other 2 are going to like stare off. So
right. And then it's also finding that material for them. It's a lot of extra steps. So with Instructron, if we can just plug in, hey, this is the standard we're working on. Here's like, I don't know, something that's going on. If a holiday is nearby, or they're really into K-pop Demon Hunters or something, we put something in there that they're going to be excited to read about, and then they can be working on that on their own. And I'm working on that same standard as a human coach.
Right.
Then it could be helpful.
So I think let's kind of go there, because we talk about this coach. And I think, Khoa, we've got some like new updates, in terms of AI in general and like people's feeling tone, using it or not.
Yeah. So the first quick update that I want to share is that we did build out a feature where, as a teacher, if you think a specific student shouldn't have access to AI, or there was an opt-out program or something, then you can actually disable their access. And when you do this, they can still use the platform. They can still answer questions in the practice tests. They can still, see the writing prompts and type in something. And in this case, they wouldn't have like the coach they could chat with on the side, or some of the AI feedback that comes in, but they could still have a teacher be notified that a reading it or a writing submission's ready, and the teacher can do it. So I think this gives a little bit more flexibility and control for any teacher, with just the fact that, yeah, maybe not everyone is ready for AI, or it's not appropriate just yet for everyone to use it. I think it's something we can build on top of over time. And
I was going to add too, maybe the student is personally not ready because they are abusing the fact
using it inappropriately. I was just going to say the same thing. It's like, it's one thing if their families have opted out, and then another reason I could see using it is like, a consequence type of situation.
Almost like because the fact that thankfully we're able to see the logs, and see that it's like you're working with a coach, but that coach is sort of like me, and so I want to be able to see what questions you're asking. So if that student is sort of just writing things that are inappropriate, then maybe we let them know, hey, I'm going to disable this, and then let's work towards understanding the right and wrong way to prompt a coach. And I guess that lends itself well to the other update we've got, right?
Yeah, it was funny because it's very relevant, and kids, 5th grade, in this case, I'm going through school's back, and so we've got more activity on the platform, and I like to review logs. Like I don't get to see any names or anything like that, but I can see conversations. And so while we are constantly refining our AI coach and making sure it doesn't go off task, and if a kid asks, about something completely random or tries to joke, AI will be like, hey, let's stay on task. If they offend repeatedly, they'll say, your teachers can review these messages. But, I was starting to see some other things in the chatter where, kids, and maybe they're just playing around and trying to get a rise out of AI, but they'd say things like, I hate you so much, you dummy, things like that. And so
welcome to our classroom.
That is our classroom. It's like,
and so it compelled me, to complete a feature that we had on the to-do list, which is being able to flag to the teacher easily when
love a red flag.
red flags when there's potentially some kind of harm, and so in this case, let me dig in. So as a teacher, if everything's going fine, you won't see these red flags. But if a student ever has a chat and they mention certain words on like a no list, and we have a huge growing list, and we have to keep up with the slang and all that stuff. But if we detect that, we can flag it. And in this case, student 1, we've got a red flag. And so as a teacher, you can go in and you can view it in the chat here. So this is new too. The entire conversation history that a student has in any writing activity here.
That's great.
Yeah, this is not real. This is me being, trying to test it. This wasn't actual language from a kid.
Yes.
But this is what you can see now as a teacher. Like you can see things such as possible abusive language, off-topic things, even harm, related things. And so it's still early days on this, but I just think it might really help a teacher who's trying to balance, like you said, 30 plus kids. If there are certain conversations and activity with AI that might be a concern, or even just, it's just nice to know, right? As a teacher, you can see them and then you can mark them as reviewed. And once you finish marking them as reviewed, then the flags go away and whatnot. But
does this currently like alert the teacher in terms of like just on their dashboard, or could it possibly something where we get an email or anything like that too? Is that something possible?
It's all possible. My vision is up here where right now you can have like a live kind of view when there's an activity. You can see like, okay, here's the things coming in, here's who's online. I think the flags might have another little area here.
Cool. Okay.
Because right now, like, you have to kind of refresh and see.
Yeah, if you're gonna scroll down that far, you might miss it.
But yes, we will have ways to build that in. And if you're doing more asynchronous practice, like kids might be doing this at home, then yes, I think email or some kind of notifications, we can work together to design that.
I love that. And that's like one of the joys, I think, of like us being part of this journey together, is that Joe and I being in the trenches day in day, see what is going on. And then Khoa's got that unique perspective of us coming in, like just even looking at that now. I think that was like the first time we really even saw some of those flag things, and just to be like, hey, I would love like an email sent right away to be like, bing, your student just wrote this, so I can be like, whoa, let me like get on that student. Now we're
well, and it's helpful information for us to also have in writing if we need to meet with our school counselor, with parents, with administration.
We're not saying every student's going to be like this, but you know that within your classrooms, you've got a few that are going to be more, I guess you would say, vulnerable. And so you want to really keep an eye on making sure that if we have a platform that they've got like this ability to chat, you know, like that we're kind of seeing like, hey, are we sticking to the task? Are we, are we?
Right. Well, and we want to safeguard it, it's, making sure that our students stay safe.
Yeah.
On the internet,
I mean, that's our biggest thing. We have kids ourselves. So I wouldn't put my child on a platform that I felt wasn't safe. And so that we're building this with that in mind.
Yeah. And and to be clear, we instruct our AI coaches not to engage with any of that. They're just, it's going to fly right by them and say, let's keep on task. Let's keep working. But it's nice as, a teacher, you'll have potential visibility into maybe a little more of the psychology of what's happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Especially we're going to get students inevitably who don't finish the task in the allotted amount of time, right? And so if we see that they have this lengthy chat log where they were doing a lot of typing, but it was not actual work, that's going to be helpful information for us to have a side conference also.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And I'm looking forward to testing out this week, hopefully assigning a passage, kind of like running through a 10 reading group situation. We're not going full in yet. It's just like driving a car. We got to like.
But I think it'll be helpful to really instruct us on how it will work and then be able to give that feedback to Khoa to see if anything needs to be tweaked. So I'm excited for it.
Well, thank you, Khoa. I love the new updates. I'm excited to kind of share with my students too that, hey, I can see everything you're doing.
For real.
I know. And then also just, just being able to let them know, hey, we can disable that function at any time. Like, this is really for you to use as like your helper. Like, are you going to abuse your helper or not? Probably not.
Yeah.
Exactly. Cool. So come back next week to see how this all worked in action, and we can give you a little glimpse into what it can look like.
And as always, if you have not checked out the platform, it is instructron.com. You can, anybody who logs in gets to try it out for 2 weeks, just whatever you would like to try. And then there's a bunch of free tools too. So, if you haven't tried it out yet, like hop on, we'd love your feedback.